I think he wants to see how his boat handles. I mean, again, they haven't raced anybody yet. They've been out on the boat now, but they haven't been out in the boat in race conditions, and I'll be interested to see how much they want to perform well. I have no doubts about that, but I also know that this will be the first time they've had other boats on the water with them short of the testing period this morning.
So we can see what's happening down in the pits, and you're right, all of the boats are down there. And the one thing, and we heard this from some of the drivers in the other classes, that how hot it's getting in those cockpits. I mean, they are trying to shade them with umbrellas and keep them cool, but that is not the place you want to be spending a whole lot of time in when the boat's not moving.
And we talked about the lack of wind and how good it is for the course.
Yes.
The lack of wind is not so good when it's really hot outside,
No
though.
doubt.
You don't get any sort of break in that. And so you're hot from start to finish in there, and of course those fire suits and those are not cooled. And so hopefully, they're able to find some ways through some water or something like that, or you trick yourself and put an ice pack in your chest right before you get into the boat, or
that's not a bad idea.
Or find some way to keep yourself cool throughout the race, because Mike we talked about that, and he goes, that's the hottest he's ever been. And tomorrow's going to be even hotter.
Yeah, actually getting a text message from some friends over on the Pasco side, and they're saying that it's just so different than they've ever seen it before for years. And that's kind of amazing over there with the, like we mentioned, the corporate tents and special areas. They had the large vendor village. It's just not there anymore. And that allows everybody to, have an outstanding view of the race course.
No, and we'll be excited to see all those folks back next year. I mean, it's we aren't trying to dismiss them as there's of anything.
Oh, they may be here. They just had to bring their own tent.
I just think I think there are people they're getting an opportunity they don't normally get. And next year, when we're back to full capacity and all the corporate tents are back and all that stuff, we're gonna have just as much fun as we do this year. And I'm excited to see. I'm really excited for this race. I feel like this is going to be a race that is going to offer among the best racing that we're going to see this weekend.
And Kevin, heading into this race, you're kind of keeping track of our points as we head into that final winner-take-all final tomorrow afternoon to wrap up the Hapo Columbia Cup at the end of Sunday's racing. After qualifying, let's go through some of those qualifying speeds that we have and who ended up getting the points. And all of a sudden, I've lost Kevin at Tire Factory Turn 2. There you are. Well, looks like we're going to head back down to the pits for our countdown. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, as we are probably, roughly 1 to the 5? I don't know if Brad or Glenn are there.
That should have been the 5-minute mark. And here come the boats.
That was the 5. Yep. Sorry, guys. 440 to the start.
The 3 is the first off.
Here comes the 40.
40, the 12 is off. The 8 staying. The last boat will be off. Will be the 8.
Yep, and he is away from the dock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to go. H1 Unlimited Racing 2021 Hapo Columbia Cup. Buckle up, guys. Here we go.
Can it be as good as the other classifications, the E350 and the GPs that we've seen so far today?
Yeah, they've got something to live up to here.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Look at these water conditions. Holy smoke, they're absolutely beautiful.
No wind across the Columbia River course right now.
Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start.
Up the Griggs backstretch is the Griggs, the 3 with Jimmy King. Behind him, Dave Bilwalk and the orange, black, and yellow Beacon Plumbing, the 40. On the outside, with a lot of boat speed in the Graham Trucking 12, Andrew Tate is going to overtake Bill Walk on the outside, heading into Shell Sun Market turn number 3.
A lot of time left, but the three ones are the inside, and right now...
Yeah, Bill Walk has cut across the ASCO Electric infield to the front stretch.
Sounds kind of Vilwalk-esque.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, now see if he doesn't do it again on the lower end.
Now watch Miss Tri-Cities. J. Michael Kelly in the 8. No, he'll head up all the way around Shell Sun Market turn 3. Bill Walk is in 1 as we come down the front stretch. Jimmy King also wants that lane, apparently.
Yep, he's going all the way down, and Jimmy King is going to cut the course right here.
Yeah, King's going across 305. 305 to our start.
Andrew Tate's still well outside, still kind of hanging out in lane 3, lane 4 area.
Stay right.
Will Miss Tri-Cities turn? No.
Nope. I don't
J.
think
Michael
he's not,
Kelly
gonna
will.
not turned up here. He's pretty far back, though.
He is, and he's way outside as he gets into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
244.
On the Griggs backstretch, King. Bilwalk is going to cut through the Esco infield to the front stretch. Will J. Michael Kelly follow? No, he's going to continue up the backstretch. Looks like Andrew Tate's going to continue up the backstretch as well.
Guys, I've got some unofficial timing marks here that I keep an eye on. You don't want to be crossing start-finish line at 2 minutes. If you do, like Dave did, it's 2:15 right now. You're going to have to do something a little special here, or you're not going to be able to get around the course just once. So watch to see if anybody's crossing right at 2 minutes. I also watch the entrance buoy down here. You do not want to be here at
Jimmy King
1:30.
is
Here goes
crossing.
King. Now watch him with Bilwalk coming across.
This is going to be interesting. Bilwalk backs off.
Yeah, Jimmy King to the Griggs backstretch.
Bilwalk backed off. They were... there was going to be a meeting of the minds there that neither one of them wanted to be involved in.
Yeah, and we've seen that before with Tate and Shane in the last couple of years. They gotten tight up there. So here they come across one more time. Now you don't want to be down here at $1.30, and it's $1.33 right now. And here comes Andrew Tate. I think he's going to be in.
Bilwalk and Jimmy King both cut across the Esco infield to the front stretch.
Yep, here comes Andrew Tate. He's going to claim lane number 1 in the 12 to Graham Trucking. Looks like Kelly wants to start this thing on the far outside. He's not even making a move to the inside. He's going to start wide.
Tate bounced and found some holes there down here in Tire Factory turn 2. But yeah, Tate's going to claim lane 1. J. Michael Kelly's decided he's going to try to win this from lane 5. Wow.
Well, he's scruffing off some. Some speed. You know, he can do that and then pull back in when they get to start finish and start the race.
Well, they're kind of getting lined up now. So Tate in 1, Bilwalk in 2, King in 3, and it looks like Michael Kelly be in lane 4.
And just for clarification on the rule, whatever lane you are in, when you enter turn 3, that's the lane you have to hold and bring to the start-finish line. Go ahead, Michael.
All right, so Dave Bilwalk back in lane number 2, just like the final in Madison. Will the boat handle better this time around?
And we talked about that earlier. If you're in lane 2, you do not want to be second across the line.
Watch that countdown. Andrew Tate, Graham Trucking, lane number 1. Dave Bilwalk, Beacon Pulling, lane number 2. Jimmy King in the Griggs U3 in lane 3. And on the outside, Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly in the 8. Off the exit pin, turn number 4. 10 seconds to the start of Heat 1A. They're backing off the throttle.
3 seconds, 2, 1, mark.
It looked like it was just on time inside for Jimmy King. Dave Bilwalk in second place as they come down the front stretch.
Boy, you're coming 3 wide down here, but it is piston power from lane number 3. King's going to get down here first, but a lot of speed off to his left, Kevin.
Oh, Dave Bilwalk closing the door quickly, and here comes Andrew Tate. They're going to go deck to deck into the Griggs backstretch, but it is the 3 that's got us about a couple boat lengths lead.
Dave Bilwalk's boat is handling extremely well through the bottom end of the course and up the backstretch, the Griggs backstretch. Griggs' boat is in the lead as they head up the backstretch, but Bilwalk is gaining on Jimmy King on the inside. And then in lane number 1, a nice run for Andrew Tate in the 12 as they get to Sun Pacific Energy, Shell Sun Market turn number 3 and into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. 3 boats deck to deck to deck. The start is under review. The start is under review. Jimmy King may have been early. Not quite sure if the 12 was early as well. We'll find out. Dave Bilwalk is going to lead after lap number 1 coming down the front stretch.
Boy, but as he got company, you could throw a blanket across all 3 of them. King in lane number 3 still hanging right with him, but it is Tate and it is Bilwalk. Dead even at the entrance pin, Kevin.
Tate is
Yeah, Kevin.
high on the air.
There we go.
There we go. Dave, and Bilwalk coming out of turn 2 with a lot of boat speed. Jimmy King following about a rooster tail behind them. But J. Michael Kelly well back and forth.
Jimmy King, 1 lap penalty, jumped the gun. The only boat that was not clean at the start. Jimmy King, a 1 lap penalty. The boat leaders, so the race leaders are out in front right now. Tate on the inside. Bilwalk on the outside as they get to turn number 3. Shell Sun Market turn 3. Buffalo Brothers turn 4. It looks like Tate's going to take the lead as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. It is Tate on the inside with the lead in the Graham Trucking. Billwalk on the outside, coming across start-finish, and there's been some damage to the back fairing and the wing of Dave Billwalk's boat, the Beacon Bluewing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a wing. He doesn't have fairings. He also doesn't have the lead. He's about 3 lengths behind Andrew Tate, but it's still a good boat race out front.
Yeah, and the problem with not having those wings or fairings is you and that is exactly what happened to Dave Billwalk down here, and Andrew Tate now out to about a 1 rooster tail lead.
Watch Kelly on the inside now.
Yep, J. Mike has moved to the inside in lane number 1 as they come up the backstretch. Jimmy King's still ahead of him, but Jimmy's got that 1-lap penalty. Back to the race leaders, Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking into turn number 3. Checkered flag is out for Heat 1A, and it's going to be Andrew Tate coming off the exit pin of turn number 4 in first place. Dave Billwalk has fallen back about a rooster tail now, and he's going to swing way outside wide at the Buffalo Brothers exit of turn number 4. The race winner, Andrew Tate, Graham Trucking, checkered flag is out. Second place for Dave Billwalk, and they're going to have work to do on the rear fairing and wing. Third place, J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities, and Jimmy King with a penalty after jumping the gun of 1 lap. He will have to continue around and finish 1 more lap. He was too early at the start of Heat 1A. So working on the outside, I think the 8 with J. Michael Kelly found out something, and that is that won't work.
That you don't want to be on the outside. In fact, he's pretty much shut her down right now. Just kind of going in front of the fans down there, past the start-finish line, headed towards the pits. Other boats around it.
You know, that's really the key is what's going to happen. And did they change things up after, putting themselves in position for a good hot qualifying lap? Maybe they changed some things up, and hopefully they went the right direction for competition. Joining us on the broadcast, Jeff Winnie with Bosch Appliances, and I know that you're a big part of hydro racing. You've been coming to Tri-Cities for boat racing since the 70s.
50 years this year, minus last year. My brother and I been coming over every year. Got some great stories over the years.
What's your favorite part about racing in the Tri-Cities? And obviously you have the opportunity to be over at Seafair as well.
It's the people over here. It's the family. It's everybody comes together. Everybody loves boat racing. They all pitch in. All the teams, if somebody's not having a good day, they'll pitch in. And you're right here where the action is, you know?
Yeah, and it sounds like somebody needs to pitch in a rear wing for Dave Billwalk.
Yeah, I saw the damage. Great racing, but,
yeah,
he's aggressive. He's never let off the throttle.
All right, Heat 1B getting underway. Jeff Winnie with Bosch Appliances. You'll find them at Bunch Finnegan, 90s Columbia Drive at Kennewick, and go to bunch.com. They're heading to Kevin Tire Factory, turn 2.
3 boats right by me now. The 11, the 1, the 9, all right next to me. The 440, they'll be the last off the dock. It's working its way towards me now as they head down to the Griggs backstretch.
3 minutes and 56 seconds, 3:55.
Well, where do you want to be, Brad?
Golly, where do I want to be? I want to be out front at the end of the third lap. Going out on a limb on that one. With this heat and the way it's set up and the way the qualifying played, I don't know how hard Jimmy wants to really go out there and fight for an inside lane. But to your point, Michael, Corey's got a fast boat. They put the right combination in it, and he'll have his hands full if he wants to try and drive around Corey. So, I don't know. I don't think we say this every year, and it's the old line. You can't win the Columbia Cup today, but you can sure as heck lose it. So nobody wants to do anything stupid here. Go out and get a bunch of points.
Heading down the front stretch to Bunch Finnegan, turn number 1 is the blue home street, the U1 with Jimmy Shane into turn number 1 now, followed by Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting. Then you have Jamie Nielsen in the bright J&D's 11. And just into Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4, the 440 Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles onto the front stretch.
250.
The 11 is cutting across the course right now.
And Jimmy's going to go in front of him. He's going to come out of the corner in front of Corey Peabody. Jamie Nielsen in the 11.
So Nielsen will settle in on the Griggs backstretch over by the home street. Peabody will pass him up the backstretch. Oh, look at Dustin Eccles will go across the Esco Electric infield now to the backside.
I forgot about Dustin. Keep an eye on Dustin. He'll probably put that thing on the far outside. 220 to the start.
Yeah.
That's what Dustin generally does when he's out here, is he'll just kind of stay out of everybody's way.
For now, you've got the one on the inside.
And they're going to go all the way around the race course. You watch. I don't think you're going to see anybody cut where they are right now at 2 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be too early to cut front to back, wouldn't it?
I think it would. I think they're in really good shape. Right now, they can squirt it a little bit and come down here and give us the lanes they're in right now, Michael, as they come by.
Well, lane number 1, you've got Jimmy Shane. Jamie Nielsen is probably in lane number 3. I mean, he's technically going to slide over and be in 2, but he's pretty far outside. And then in lane number 4, we'll call it, is Peabody in the 9. Eccles, lane 5, way outside as they come down the front stretch. There's just a lot of room right now. And it looks like they're kind of tightening the field up as they head down the front stretch to Bunch Finnegan turn 1.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a pretty quick start here because it's 1:20 until the start. You don't want to be here at 1:30. Well, they're down here at about 1:12. And Dustin Eccles in the 440 on the far outside is caught up with everybody. Shane in 1, Nielsen in 2, Peabody in 3, and on the far outside, Dustin Eccles.
Jamie Nielsen's getting caught right into the wash of Jimmy Shane, though.
1 minute.
Jimmy Shane was, I'm not sure what Jamie trying to do there. Nielsen was down below and getting into lane 1, getting caught in that wash. So
They've been quite a ways outside on the front stretch, but lost some real estate heading through Tire Factory turn number 2 to the Griggs backstretch.
40 seconds. 40.
Jimmy Shane in the home street, lane number 1 for the 1. The 11, Jamie Nielsen, J&D's, lane number 2. Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, lane number 3. On the outside in the 440 Bucket List Racing, Dustin Eccles. Shane on the inside. Countdown to the start of Heat 1B. 20 seconds to start at the apex of turn number 3 into turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers at the exit pin.
10 seconds.
Nielsen, Peabody, Eccles. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
3 seconds. 2, 1. Mark.
I don't know if Peabody was early, but he's leading the pack down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1 in lane number 3.
Yeah, it's Corey Peabody with a lot of speed on the outside. We'll check on the start and see if he was legal. But, boy, you want to talk about having a whole lot of speed off to your left. He's got Nielsen and Shane off to his left.
Shane just closed down the distance just at a heartbeat there. So Jimmy Shane on the inside, still in second place, but reeling it.
Officially, our start is under review as Corey Peabody leads by a half a rooster tail coming up the backstretch. Dustin Eccles is falling back in 4th place in the 440 Bucket List. Watch Jimmy Shane, top end of the course. He's probably going to take the lead away from Corey Peabody. Shane on the inside, shorter track around. As they get to the apex and head over to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, it's going to be Shane in the lead. As Peabody pushed a little farther out wide, lost some boat speed. Nielsen is in 3rd place at the exit pin now. Across the start-finish line, it's going to be Jimmy Shane, your race leader. 153.557 miles per hour for Jimmy Shane, lap number 1.
Coming down here to the lower end of the race course, we are on lap number 2 of 3. It is Jimmy Shane. Got pretty much a full rooster tail on Corey Peabody, but Corey Peabody is having to run way on the outside, Kevin. Keep an eye on him. He can't move over because Nielsen is still in there.
Yeah, he can't drop down to get down next to Jimmy Shane, so he's going to have to kind of keep it out in lane 3. He's keeping the pace, though, for the most part. He's just about a rooster tail back. Jamie Nielsen rolling up in 3rd.
Yeah, Nielsen in 3rd place on the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch as Jimmy Shane starts to pull away a little bit from Corey Peabody. And again, with lane number 1 position, he should have an easy time maintaining or extending the lead after going into Shell Sun Market turn 3 and Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Race leader is the 1, Jimmy Shane in the home street. Pretty good corner up top, though, for Corey Peabody, and it looks like Peabody is kind of moved in a little bit because of the overlap now. Nielsen has fallen off the pace just onto the front stretch. Lap number 2 for Jimmy Shane, a 143.763 miles per hour.
Watch and see if Shane doesn't pull it away here. He dropped from 151 down to 143, and that allowed Corey Peabody to close the distance. But Corey's still right with him.
Yeah, we still wait to hear the word on Corey Peabody.
It's a one-lap penalty.
One lap penalty, okay.
He jumped the start.
So Jimmy Shane now knows that, I am sure. So Corey Peabody, as much as he's going to go neck to neck with this, it's unfortunately not for first place.
So up the backstretch, Jimmy Shane in the 1, the home street, ready to dive into Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course. Peabody on the outside. He hasn't backed off the throttle one bit coming up the backstretch and into turn number 3. At the exit pin of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the front stretch. Jimmy Shane, the home street. Corey Peabody did not back off at all. Amazing run as they come to the start-finish line. Checkered flag is out. And Jimmy Shane is going to take the victory. Peabody's got to take one more lap around. So Jamie Nielsen will get second place points in the J&Ds.
He gets a big win out of this, coming in with 300 points here in second place. Good run for Jamie Nielsen.
And Dustin Eccles, Brad, good for third place in the bucket list.
That's 225 big points, and all of a sudden Corey Peabody comes home with a 169, assuming he finishes this extra lap. So there's a lot to be said about driving legal. You can have the fastest boat in the planet. Say it all the time, but it's got to be legal. I still like Jamie Nielsen in this U11, the J&Ds.
Well, he picks up some big points because of the mistake made at the start by Corey Peabody. That being said, Peabody, Kevin, throughout that entire race, didn't back down at all and was able to challenge at times, even though Tate was on the inside in the 1. Or, excuse me, Shane was on the inside in the 1.
No, but how much of that, and
And Peabody able to finish the race and his final lap at 143.942 miles per hour.
And Peabody was right there with Shane, but I'm hoping that's more about Peabody than it is about Shane sort of backing off.
Sure.
To keep himself out of any trouble. But, you got to feel good if you're Corey Peabody because you were right there with the winner the whole time.
So running down our schedule, we've got more racing coming up shortly. At 4:10, the GP Americas will return. 5-liter racing scheduled for 4:30. And then at 4:50 this afternoon, Unlimited Heat 2A for the H1 Unlimiteds. And at 5:10, our final heat, the Heat 2B for the H1 Unlimited. So we've got a lot of action yet to come. A lot of action down in the Neil F. Lamson pits, and thanks to Brad Luce and Glenn Boggin all day long down there providing the latest details from our drivers and crews. Thanks to American Radiator, and we'll get the winner of Heat 1B, Jimmy Shane, in the 1, Home Street, lane number 1. And, he took it from the moment, Kevin, he left the pits and did not relinquish lane number 1.
He didn't. And and we talked about, where do you want to be at the start? And Brad said in front at the end. And Jimmy Shane said, okay, I could do that. And said, I'll do it from lane 1, thank you.
Yeah, and nobody challenged.
Nope.
And honestly, the way the milling period set up, there wasn't a whole lot that anybody could do to take it away from him. I mean, he had it at the right time and the right place on the course to maintain it. Go ahead.
All right, we've got Jimmy Shane here. Jimmy, congratulations. It's got to feel good after the first heat.
Oh, yeah, the boat's running great. Handled that rough water in the first turn. I was not looking forward to going back to that first turn in Tri-Cities, knowing how rough the water gets on the first lap, and the boat just is amazing. It just floats right over that stuff, and we were able to hold lane 1, no issues, and I think it was a pretty clean heat for the Miss Home Street.
Talk to us about the importance of lane 1 for you and holding that position.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's the shortest way around the track. It's least distance that you have to cover to get to the end of the race, and so it's a big advantage if you can get lane 1. We, Jeff, on my radios, we had decent timing marks, and we were right where we wanted to be, and we were able to obtain lane 1, and then at that point just control the course. I figured Corey was just a touch early on the start from our timing marks, and so we just laid back a little bit, had a nice clean start, and everything worked out great.
Talk to us about that. The number 9's out in front of you, but around that first corner, you were able to just reel them in nice and slow. How did that process work?
Yeah, I wasn't sure until the second lap if he had jumped or not, and at that point you got to race. And so we ran hard on that first lap. We were able to pull up next to him, And he had even more of a challenge because Jamie was running fast in lane 2, so he had to leave Jamie room in lane 2. So he had a big race course to go around, and that's where the lane 1 comes to the big advantage.
Not a lot of time between now and the next round of heat, so what's on the itinerary?
Cool down, drink some water. The crew's going to switch, get the boat turned around really quick, and we're going to check the data, make sure we're all good, and we'll go on to the next set of heats.
All right, Jimmy Shane, thanks so much for the time.
You know,
Yeah,
Glenn,
hey, guys.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, if I can jump in, I'm going to chase down Jamie Nielsen, our second place finisher. He's talking with his 2 owners here, Scott and Shannon. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead. All right, you're good. You're pretty good, too. 300 points. It's a good way to start this thing.
Oh yeah, we'll take it. But we know it's a long weekend, 4 heats, but, put the U11 J&Ds and tied for, 3rd place overall in points after the first heat. We'll take it, especially against some great competition out there in Jimmy and Corey and Dustin.
And we make the comment all the time. Obviously, you know it better than we do. You can't win this race on Saturday. You can't win it in the first heat. You can sure lose it. 300 points has got to look good.
For sure. Our goal out there in the first heat was just keep our nose clean. Don't make any mistakes. Don't get any penalties. And, myself personally, I felt like I was right on that start line, maybe even pushing a little bit. And Corey was almost a full Richdale ahead of me. So, I had a feeling that first lap or two that he was probably over. And as soon as I got that radio call that he was, then I got the heck out of that tunnel because no one likes being in those.
That's just what I was going to say. You were driving down a hallway there for a while.
Oh, yeah. And when I heard it wasn't going to win me any more points, I got the heck out of there.
But Corey was giving you plenty of room?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of room. It's always a pleasure racing with him and Jimmy, and they're good, hard racers, but they give you a fair lane.
Go debrief with Scott, and we'll see you out here a little bit later. You got another one coming up quick.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brad.
All right, there you go, Jamie Nielsen.
Brad,
second place finish.
You want ads that drive
Look at this. We talk about, the late afternoon boats away from the dock. Boy, is this a beauty. 2 silver boats, a red boat, and a chartreuse and royal blue boat. And the chartreuse and royal blue boat takes off ahead of everybody. But, man, for a moment there, they were all stuck together in that late afternoon sun. Kevin, you know how much I enjoy that shot. But now they're coming right to you. Lots of color.
Oh, especially when you got the 11 coming out and the chartreuse and royal blue. At the 8 coming out after him. Whoa, bouncing out over the wake. The 9 after that, and the 12 going out wide.
And note the white wing on the 12 when it goes up there by you.
it is a little different, isn't it?
Yep.
It is. It looks like it doesn't quite fit exactly perfectly, but fits well enough.
It fits good enough. All right, coming up on 350. 350 to the start. Heat 1A.
Jamie Nielsen dives into Golf Universe turn number 3. And we'll jump over to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, backing off the throttle a little bit in the J&Ds in lane number 1.
Michael,
at least for now. Glenn Boggin.
You'll be happy to know the Osprey has finally made it over the pits and is continuing its eastbound momentum.
Exactly. He knew the boats were coming out. He knew the boats were coming. Oh, he's heading to Clover Island. Fantastic.
I just wish we'd have strapped a GoPro to him.
There you go.
Shot of the pits.
Boy, what a pretty picture right now. Graham trucking on the outside. Andrew Tate.
They are all slowing down.
Yeah, Miss Tri-Cities lane number 2 with J. Mike, and lane number 3, Corey Peabody and the Pinnacle Peak Consulting, and that's just a parade lap heading down. That looks like Dash for Cash almost.
It does kind of look like that. They're all set up now. Tate starts to give it a little bit of a squirt on the outside. We approach 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2:50 until the start. Kevin, boy, there you go. Got a camera? Snap that one.
I walked away from my camera, but yes, it looks great. But I think Andrew Tate's going to try to get out front.
Who is going to make the move?
I think it's Andrew. I think he decided, I don't like this. I don't like being on the outside of these guys. I got to give it a squirt, get ahead of everybody, and then make some moves. So
But
keep
does
an
he
eye on
cut?
Andrew.
Through the Esco Electric infield, anybody coming? Anybody going to come?
No, they've got to be worried about that 80 mile an hour.
Well, I think right now, sitting up there at 219, I think however they come off that corner, I'm going to be surprised if that's not how they come to the start-finish line. We are at 212 right now.
And
Andrew in one?
Yeah, he is. Yep, at the exit pin, a Buffalo Brothers turn 4.
But he is way out front.
Tate.
Yep.
And he's,
2 minutes.
he's going to have to do something.
He's fine, I think.
You really do.
Yeah, you
right.
don't want to be at the start-finish line. If you do the math on it, you'll find out you can't go 80 miles an hour for 2 minutes over a 2.5-mile area, but he's outside of that.
Is it J. Mike that does the old swerve, the S curves? That
Yeah.
when you're trying to...
So the issue now is going to be Jamie Nielsen is almost riding right in his wake.
Yep.
Who's going to have lane 1? Well, at least now Tate's in front, right, and has it for now.
We'll see if he wants 130 right there.
But Nielsen's going to have to give up some real estate and come outside.
or
He's
they
lost
cut.
his lane.
Or he cuts.
Now we keep an eye on Andrew here. See if he
Will
if
he
keeps
cut?
it
Because
one.
Andrew Tate couldn't cut. But does Jamie
And-
Nielsen? No.
Can't do it. Boat on the
is-
inside.
Yeah, but look at Tate burn some time. Go a little bit later.
Yeah. He went
Coming up on
wide.
110 to our start.
Out wide. Back into lane 1. This is where he won from in that Heat 1A. And now I think the rest of the boats are going to shift out
1 minute.
one lane.
So Tate in lane 1 as he comes up the backstretch. Lane 2, it looks like it's going to be Jamie Nielsen. They gave him room. J. Michael Kelly moves out to lane number 3. And Corey Peabody on the outside in lane number 4.
Tate's still way out front.
40 seconds.
Well, he can take it slow. He won't have boat speed as much as he would like probably at the start-finish, but lane number 1's a pretty good place to be. Andrew Tate into Golf Universe turn number 3. Jamie Nielsen.
They're good.
J&Ds will be in lane number 2. Miss Tri-Cities, lane number 3 with J.
15.
Michael Kelly. Pinnacle Peak Consulting, lane number 4 with Corey Peabody. All the boats emerge at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 on the front stretch. Brad with our countdown.
We are inside 5. We're 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark.
And it is clean, and the boat speed appears to be on the outside. It's J. Michael Kelly in lane number 3 leading down the front stretch. Peabody in second place on the outside.
Yeah, boy, look at Jay Mike get down here with a lot of air underneath the 8 from lane number 3. Got speed off to his left, but man, he brought a lot of power down here, Kevin.
Oh, he's good. He looks really strong, but you know who looks strong too? The 11 and the 12, both on the inside, staying within that rooster tail of the 8.
Yeah, they had the shorter course around, Kevin, and they came out and had the lead for a moment. But, boy, look at J. Michael Kelly in lane number 3, starting to pull away a little bit on the backstretch. Tate's trying to reel him back in the 12, the Graham Trucking. Nielsen falling back a little bit in the J&Ds in lane number 2. Peabody, can't see him. I believe he's fallen back on the outside. We'll pick him up as he comes off the exit pin of turn number 4. Yep, he has. He's fallen way off the pace now. Race leader, it looks like it's almost deck to deck now. Tate on the inside, J. Michael Kelly on the outside, and J. Michael Kelly really has a lot of boat speed. Nielsen is climbing back into this and may take over second place by the time they get to Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
Yeah, Kelly's leaving a lot of room in there for Nielsen. He's driving it down the hallway, but it's a pretty wide hallway right now. But it is Kelly down here first with a couple of boat lengths.
Yeah, but Tate is making up that and going to maybe take the lead into the Griggs backstretch, but he has to slow down, and so J-Mike with his boat speed able to get back the lead as they head back.
Yeah, Peabody has fallen back up the Griggs backstretch. The race leader right now on the backstretch is J. Michael Kelly in the 8 Miss Tri-Cities. Second place on the inside, lane number 1, that's going to be Tate in Graham Trucking. Jamie Nielsen has fallen back off the pace. He's now a rooster tail behind Tate in the 12. Now, the real question is, can Peabody catch up and take over third place in the 9? That's who pin onto the front stretch. It's going to be J. Michael Kelly with the race lead. Tate challenging on the inside but falling back a little bit. The white flag is out. The race leader, J. Michael Kelly, in the Miss Tri-Cities down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden with Nielsen dropping back, Kelly's been able to tighten it up on Tate, and that's the difference right now. He's driving lane 2 instead of lane 4.
And that has been a huge benefit to him because no longer Does Tate have all that inside distance, that shorter distance? And J. Michael Kelly's got just only a slight longer track. He's able to maintain that boat speed in lane 2 and fly down the backstretch.
Tate gained a little bit of ground through Tire Factory turn number 2, but J. Michael Kelly starting to pull away coming up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Into Golf Universe turn number 3 at the top end of the course. On the inside, Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking. Can he gain more ground on the inside? The checkered flag is out for Heat 2A. He will not be able to catch J. Michael Kelly at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities takes the checkered flag in Heat 2A. Second place will go to Tate in the Graham Trucking. The battle for third continues. Peabody on the outside. On the inside, Nielsen. Jamie Nielsen and the J&Ds will take third, and the fourth place for Peabody in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting number 9. Fantastic run. And you know, we talked about how good the E350 races were, how good the Grand Prix America races were. That was a fantastic unlimited heat of racing. So, your winner will be the 8 with J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities. And a second place finish for the 12, Andrew Tate in the Graham. Third place, the 11 J&Ds with Jamie Nilsson and Corey Peabody in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting finishes in fourth place.
So important for Mike to get into lane 2, I think.
You know, the other important part on that, it was a clean race. Nobody made a mistake.
Yeah, no, the start looked, well, again, I don't have the greatest angle. It looked great. But yeah, Mike getting down to lane 2, it was just so important for him, I think, to not have that 2-lane difference. That 1-lane difference, you're still going a longer way, but at least you're knocking down the difference.
Fastest lap was the 8 J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities in lap number 1, 154 miles per hour and change in competition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was for the 8?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was just about to make the comment that, yeah, he was running in lane 3 from the perspective that there were 2 boats inside of him, but he was running that thing at about lane 5. You talked about it being a clean race, and it was very, very clean. I made the comment, I think, at one point that Nielsen was driving down the hallway, but it was a pretty darn wide hallway. And so to run a speed like that out as far as he was, that's cooking.
Yeah, 154.62 miles per 8. 154.628 miles per hour. Lap number 1 for the 8, J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities. Fastest lap. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good unlimited hydroplane racing. We've got one more heat coming up as the drivers head back to the Neil F. Lamson pits, and both Glenn Vaughan and Brad Luce head down to the docks to get driver interviews and more, and it leaves us with the lineup for Heat 2B that we've been talking about. It's going to be the piston-powered U3 Griggs Ace Hardware with Jimmy King, Jimmy Shane in the U1 Home Street Bank. Dave Bilwalk, Miss Beacon Plumbing, the 40, and he lost all of his points out of the first heat because of a fuel violation. And Dustin Eccles in the 440 Bucket List Racing.
Let me jump in here if I can, Michael. I've got J. Michael Kelly, after he says hello to his wife, gets the obligatory bottle of water.
2B.
Yeah, and we are coming up on 5 minutes. We're 5 seconds away. Sorry about that.
2.
We'll follow that story.
1. Mark. 5 minutes.
So you got a watch going too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. You know, it's just disappointing that he won't be out there.
So 2 orange boats and a blue one.
Kicking away from the dock, heading to Tire Factory turn number 2, Kevin Rounce.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane in the Home Street Blue trying for a perfect Saturday. Top qualifier, won first heat. Now he's going to try to win Heat 2B. And you go perfect on the first 3 events. That's a pretty setup.
Pretty solid, yeah.
40 goes right in front of me first.
So 440 heading up the backstretch, that is. The one with Jimmy Shane.
40.
No, I'm sorry, the 40, yeah.
Yeah, the 440 is just now away from the dock.
And then the blue.
Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start, right about now.
And just checking out Bill Walk's boat. The fairings are fine, and it's a wing reattached. Is that white in color?
Well,
yeah.
Excuse me, that's what we decided. We decided it was white.
I think so.
Yeah, we kind of had a bad angle of it. But, yeah, I think it's white.
It is.
And, geez, cutting a race course. How about that?
He did, and there was a bird that had to get out of the way very quickly.
Better teach that bird the start sequence that Dave Vilwalk uses. It usually involves a few of those.
So the Beacon Plumbing down the front stretch, heading into the bottom end of the course. And Bunch Finnegan turn number 1, over to Tire Factory turn number 2 at the top end of the course. Hello, fans from Buffalo Brothers. Best fans around hydroplane racing at the west end of the course. Exit pin at turn number 4. Jimmy Shane. And Jimmy has already decided that lane 1 would be a good place for him.
It worked last time.
Coming across at 2:55. Coming across start-finish line, so still a long way to go. Keep an eye on Dave, see if he doesn't go up the top end and bring it around again, but I don't think it will.
Dustin Eccles on the outside in the 440, bucket list racing.
Jimmy might cut here.
Yeah, he's slowing down, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's backed off the throttle quite a bit. Vilwalk is through the Esco Electric infield to the front stretch.
Well, there, I'm going to stop trying to crawl in ahead of these guys. I got both of those wrong. Looking at 2:25 now until the start.
And Dustin Eccles going out way wide. Well, lane 5 or so, way out there.
Watch Dave.
Nope.
Going to come all the way.
So Jimmy Shane up the back stretch. The Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, 4 locations to help you. Eccles is going to
2 minutes.
put the throttle in it at the 2-minute mark and head to the top end of the course. Will he dive to the infield here?
And this is where will Dave Vilwalk cut in here. We're under 2 minutes to go. Because he was hanging out in lane 2.
Here he comes. Is that him coming across?
Yeah, you're going to have Jimmy Shane come across the Esco Electric infield.
Oh, prevent Vilwalk from doing it.
And Vilwalk's going to do the same. And let's see who's going to jump into lane number 1 as we get to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Vilwalk has claimed lane number 1 now.
Wow.
Jimmy Shane will be in lane number 2.
He gunned it.
And it looked like he turned onto the race course upriver of the start-finish line, and on my map, that's a good move.
So all the boats now into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
At $1.10 to the start, 110.
Countdown continues for the start of Heat 2B to wrap up our first day of racing of the 2021 Hapo Columbia Cup.
1 minute, one minute.
Jimmy Shane hanging way back of the 2 orange boats. The 40 with Vilwalk on the inside. The 440, Dustin Eccles on the outside, and Shane in the middle in the home street. To the score-up buoy on the back stretch. Dustin Eccles on the outside. Now remember, they'll have the long trip around on the outside. But Jimmy Shane hanging back in lane number 2, just to that score-up buoy on the back stretch.
Yep, just to reiterate, whatever lane they're in, when they enter that corner, that's the lane they have to run in. 23 seconds, Mike.
Dustin Eccles way on the outside. You've got Jimmy Shane in the middle. He'll be in the hallway, and Dave Vilwalk on the inside with a great move through the Esco Electric infield to claim lane number 1. All the boats onto the front stretch with the countdown continuing to the start of Heat 2B.
3, 2, 1. Mark.
It is a clean start. Vilwalk on the inside, but really good momentum for Jimmy Shane on the outside. They are deck to deck, heading down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy Shane is not running away from Dave Vilwalk. We'll see what kind of a corner Dave can get, but they're close together, Kevin.
Jimmy is flying, though.
Jimmy Shane had an incredible turn number 2, and at the exit pin already had a half a rooster tail lead over Dave Vilwalk. Through the turn, Jimmy Shane was just perfect with full boat speed. Now Vilwalk is back almost a rooster tail as they head up in turn number 3 with our Shell Sun Markets. On the inside, Vilwalk. On the outside, Jimmy Shane. Shane with a almost rooster tail lead now as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers. Onto the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane with a rooster tail lead over Dave Vilwalk. Shane pulled away through the bottom end turn to leave Dave Vilwalk a rooster tail behind now.
Yeah, it's a full rooster tail as they come down here. It is all Jimmy Shane. At some point, Dave Vilwalk's going to make a move to go into the outside, and he just did it. Dave Vilwalk has moved to the outside. He's going to give up the fight and pick up 300 points. Look at Shane. He's just running beautifully.
Yeah, and he's starting to hug the buoy line, too. I don't know if he heard about J. Mike's time and wants to beat it, but he's just absolutely a rocket ship right now.
Well, when you list the boats that have the potential to beat Jimmy Shane, I think you could probably now remove the 40. Well, on the backstretch, it's a 3 rooster tail lead now for Jimmy Shane heading into the Shell Sun Market, turn number 3 at the top end of the course. Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Jimmy Shane has extended his lead with a near perfect turn. A little bit of rough water at the exit pin, but he's fine. On to the front stretch.
Maybe tomorrow we'll get an opportunity to see the 1 and either the 8 or 1 and the 12.
I wanted to see the 1 and the 3 out there, honestly, and it's just a shame we don't have Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware boat.
Jimmy coming down here to the lower corner in a third and final lap here of our Heat 2.
White flag is out, and Dustin Eccles in third place with some big points for the 440 bucket list.
Some rough water down here right now. But Jimmy gets through it without too much trouble.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles backing off the throttle coming across that start-finish line. That's interesting. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He's losing power on the front stretch.
Yep, and he's way on the outside of the race course, and he is turning to the outside of the race course.
Dead.
He's throwing in the towel.
Yep, top end of the course. It's the final 2 turns in our 4-corner super speedway. Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Jimmy Shane in the home street. Into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, swinging a little bit farther out wide. A photo op for the Buffalo Brothers crew down there on the west end of the course. To the front stretch, Jimmy Shane in the U1 home street takes the checkered flag at the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Second place for Dave Bilwalk in the Beacon Plumbing, the 40. And Dustin Eccles, unfortunately, losing power on the front stretch after completing lap number 2. We'll get a DNF. Big points for Jimmy Shane. And Dave Bilwalk gets a much-needed boost on the points because he didn't get any after Heat 1.
Yeah, and I think also Dave Bilwalk in that heat, he learned a lot. He and Kelly, I think, probably learned a lot. He got himself on the inside of Jimmy Shane. He ran him hard into the corner. He ran him hard through the corner and for 1 lap. And I think now they know just exactly where they are versus that powder blue boat. And that powder blue boat's a strong one. I think he ran him hard for a lap, threw in the towel, said, all right, I'll take my 300 points. We're in good shape.
So big points for Jimmy Shane in the 1 home street, and a nice finish for Dave Bilwalk. Had the inside lane, and that was maybe the most exciting part of the race was the milling period and the way that Dave Bilwalk was able to cut through that infield right in front of us to claim lane number 1.
Yeah, that was a pretty aggressive move, which tells me I think he really wanted to get in there and see how he measured up. Now he knows.
Yeah, and it really, the class of the fleet and the way that boat handled the 1 home street with Jimmy Shane through turn 1 and 2 on that first lap, it was just unbelievable how quickly he was able to gain ground and then pass up the boat on the inside. Dave Bilwalk at the Beacon Plumbing.
Yeah.
So our winning driver heading back to the Neil F. Lamson pits. And our pit reporters ready to talk to him and find out what their reaction is. And hear from Dave Bilwalk, too. Meanwhile, Dustin Eccles in the 440 will take that slow tow back over to the Neil F. Lamson pits, unable to claim the 3rd place points with a DN.
Roku Ads Manager.
Ladder. So the 3 and the 440 are going to try to see if they can gain some points and get into that final, maybe even be on the front row of the final. But the 3 has been, it right now would be the trailer boat in the Columbia Cup later on this afternoon, and he's going to want to be at least out in front of the 440 for this one.
And that's a great point, Kevin, and the interesting point that you raise with that conversation is Imagine if we were running a normal H1 Unlimited race, the third section of heats is the last one before the final. This would be the last opportunity to get points. But because we run the Gold Cup format here, we've got 2 more sets of heats to go. So that plays to the advantage of the Griggs Ace Hardware U3 and the 440. 2 more opportunities to move up into that top 6. Anything can happen.
So lane number 1, who's going to make the move? Dave Vilwalk's always been one of the craftiest when it comes to trying to gain that lane.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that, especially with the way he was testing this morning. He was just pinned on the buoys. At least down here, Kevin, I don't know if you noticed it, but he could have put his hand out the window and touched that apex buoy when he was going around.
Yeah, he was right on the line. And after yesterday, I think that he's going to do everything he can to be back on that line again. Yeah, he didn't win the heat, but we saw how aggressive he was going to be so that he could be in lane 1. How does Jimmy Shane respond to that, though? I mean, that was an incredibly aggressive move yesterday, something that maybe caught Jimmy Shane by surprise and was in Vilwalk's aggressiveness, but now we have an opportunity. Shane's seen it. Now he can be ready for it, but will there be a new move that Dave Vilwalk tries to get onto that lane 1?
Well, and Brad, you talked about the testing session earlier and how well the boat looked, the Beacon Plumbing 40.
It did.
The other part of that, though, is that on that final lap that he was out, he cut across the infield just like he did to gain lane 1 yesterday.
Yeah, I went home last night. That was the first thing I dialed up on YouTube. I wanted to see what that move looked like from start-finish line with Tate Meyer's camera. And I thought it was a whole lot closer than it was.
It was well-timed.
It was very well-timed. And as far as if Dave Vilwalk has something else up his sleeve, let me tell you, that guy's trick bag, it's a deep one. It's a real deep one. And Vilwalk would love nothing more. He's not in a national high points race, really, but he would like to go out right now and send a message, put a flare across Jimmy Shane's bow, if you will, and say, hey, I'm here. And you're going to have to deal with me before the day's out. He'd like to give him a message, I can assure you.
We're about 1 minute to the 5-minute gun.
Yes, we are. I'm going to head up on top, and we're going to go get our perch, put my watch, which is set. We are at 5:45.
And again, the home street, Jimmy Shane, number 1, the U1. The U3, Griggs Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. Also the 40, Beacon Plumbing with Dave Vilwalk, and the 440 Bucket List with Dustin Eccles will be heading out of the pits momentarily onto the Columbia River course. And then we'll have the 5-minute milling period before the start of Heat 3A. 3B will come up later with Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly in the 8, Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, both with the Strong Racing Team boats. 11 J&Ds with Jamie Nielsen, and the 12 Gram Trucking with Andrew Tate in Heat 3B, which will be after the Hapo Over the River Air Show. Countdown getting underway as we head back down to the pits, and our American Radiator pit reporters, we see the boats being positioned as they will push off from the dock.
First boat away from the dock, the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, Jimmy King.
Shopping for tires used to really rub me the wrong way. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's Tire Decision Guide made it easy to find the right tires. Talk about secret sauce. You might ask, well, you bought them. Now how are you going to put them on? No problem. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose one that does mobile installation. A technician brought the tires right to my house. He's installing them now.
Almost finished, Herb.
Take your time. I'm just marinating. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
A wider smile brightens more than just your teeth. Colgate Optic White's unique hydrogen peroxide technology is engineered to remove deeper stains for a visible difference in just 3 days. So you can live life to the brightest.
Good to see them come off the top end. The other dock, next boat away from the dock, coming out almost together. Dave Vilwalk in the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, Jimmy Shane in the U1, the Miss Home Street. The 440 Bucket List is still sitting at the dock, but oh, Kevin, here we go. You've got some great-looking race boats coming at you. Water conditions are absolutely perfect. The flag atop the Blue Bridge is hanging straight down. Let's go racing, guys. It's race day at the Hapo Columbia Cup.
And Jimmy King early on, right there against the buoy line. Dave Vilwalk goes out way wide, but comes back down, gets into lane 2. Jimmy Shane taking a little more direct route than the 40. He'll come out, bounce around through the wake, and hang out lane 2 as well. And then here comes Dustin Eccles down the Griggs backstretch. And the 440. So all 4 boats up, running. All 4 boats. It's going to look like they're going to start.
Looks like a driver's parade.
They are pretty separated.
Yeah, they are. They've got all of them have 3 rooster tail length leads.
Jimmy King would be more than content if that's how it finished.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. Hey, somebody's cutting across the infield, everybody. Guess who?
Yeah, guess who? Looks like a lot of orange up there.
Dave Billwalk already to the front stretch and claiming lane number 1. It's early.
He jumps in front of, it looks like, Jimmy King.
Yeah, King's going to slide back over to the inside. We're going to have a little wake to deal with for Jimmy King.
And he'll be okay. We're
Yeah,
still
no question.
3:15 to the start.
At the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers Turn 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. The home street and the 440 with Dustin Eccles back down to Tire Factory Turn number 2, Kevin Rounds.
Bill Walk and Jimmy King both come all the way down here. Bill Walk a little bit wide out there. Jimmy King a little tighter to the buoy. Both a little bit different positions in terms of timing. Jimmy King not quite yet done with lane 1. We'll see if he decides he wants to cut over at some point.
I think, Brad, it's fascinating the way we have 2 boats on the back and 2 on the front now. And how they're all going to end up together is just what this exciting milling period is all about.
Yeah.
Bill Walk across the ESCO Electric infield.
That's what I was just going to say. So, yeah, you got Shane and Eccles down here at the bottom end of the race course, and now we've split our other 2 boats because Dave did what Dave does. If that's a good statement, very Vilwalk-esque.
Are we about 2 minutes?
We are 2:15. 2:15 to that. Here goes Dave again.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane cut a lot of power there, too. So this is where you have to watch for the beacon on the top.
Oh, boy. Watch Dave. Watch Dave, because here we are at 2 minutes.
He'll have to go past the midway point before he can cut over.
But if he does, he would be able to get in front of Jimmy and be cool. He's at $1.50 right now.
You know who might be in the catbird seat on all this?
Jimmy Shane cuts.
But now here comes Dave.
Dave's going to try to get back to the front stretch in front of him.
Looks like yesterday. Got to go around that start buoy. He does. It looks good from here.
It was really close, too, to that buoy.
You know who's in the catbird seat on all this? Oh, now he's cutting. I thought Jimmy King might be in a prime position to take that lane.
He's early.
He would have been very early because we just now stepped inside 130. So we're at 125. Dave is going to sit in 1. Watch for King to go up, and he'll cut the course across the top end.
He's going at near full speed at this point, trying to get over there.
He'll be okay.
That might play out okay for him as he gets up and will probably cut in, and he will. He comes around to the front stretch across the ESCO Electric infield. So on the back stretch, so right in front of you, Kevin Rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave Billwalk, lane 1. Jimmy Shane, lane 2. Actually, he's trying to hang out to lane 1. Not sure how he can keep it there, but he's hanging out in the wake of the Billwalk.
He can go again.
Jimmy King's going to cut across ESCO field, infield to the back stretch.
He'll be fine. He's just going to be wide. 43 seconds.
Now the question is Bill Walk in 1? Looks like it. Bill Walk in 1, and then you've got Jimmy Shane in lane number 2. Lane number 3, it's going to be the bright red 3, Griggs Ace Hardware on the Griggs backstretch. In lane 3, Eccles will push outside into lane number 4. Clock counting down, and we're at about 20 seconds.
Earn 60,000 bonus points and experience more with Chase Sapphire Reserve.
To the apex and on to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4.
Seconds.
Bill Walk in 1, Shane in 2. Now we start to see King in 3. And on the outside, Eccles. Boy, what a pretty picture coming off the exit
4
pin.
seconds. 3
onto
seconds.
the front stretch.
2, 1. Mark.
And it is a clean start down the front stretch. Jimmy King is leading in lane number 3. On the inside of him, you've got Jimmy Shane, and in lane number 1, Bill Walk as they head to turn number 1.
Yeah, Bill Walk could be in a tough spot here. He's in lane 1 as they come down to the corner. It's going to get tight for him in there, Kevin.
Oh, but Bill Walk, he got a little too loose there, I think, and Jimmy Shane able to get a rooster tail lead in the back. Now the battle's going to be for second. Jimmy King showing some power down the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, he is. He really had a better turn. Dave Billwalk hit the slop on the inside and backed out of the throttle. He did not have a good run. In Bunch Finnegan, turn number 1 into Tire Factory, turn number 2 up the Griggs backstretch. It's Jimmy Shane in the lead as he dives into Shell Sun Market, turn number 3, over to Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4, and onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Billwalk is on the inside with a shorter course around, but Jimmy Shane has the boat speed and the momentum. The race becomes for second place with Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware on the outside, Billwalk on the inside in the 40 Beacon Plumbing. Jimmy King is going to pull even with Billwalk as they come down the front stretch for second place.
Yeah, Jimmy King's in a tough spot. He's going to pull up alongside Dave Billwalk, but he's driving a big course. Now, watch Shane. He can move over on Billwalk, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's hanging out at lane 2 right now. Billwalk much better turn that time. Now he's got about a rooster tail on Jimmy King. Jimmy King drops down into lane 2 to try to shorten the distance for himself and gain on the 40.
And he's trying to pull back inside and get up with Dave Billwalk on the back stretch, but Billwalk with a wonderful run up the Griggs back stretch, and he'll dive into the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3 and hold on to second place with King on the outside, back about a rooster tail, maybe a half a rooster tail now. Lead for a second place with Dave Billwalk. The race leader across the start-finish line now is Jimmy Shane with 1 lap to go in Heat 3A. Second place, Dave Billwalk by almost a rooster tail coming down the front stretch. But Jimmy King's going to try to reel him in. I don't know if he's going to have enough real estate to catch him.
But he's in a lot better spot right now because no longer is Billwalk in lane 1. He's outside of Shane. So right now from a lane position, King is tighter to Billwalk.
Billwalk is out wide. He's about lane 3 or 4. Jimmy King, though, is riding even bigger course. Billwalk, much better turn again. Now he's got about a rooster tail and a half, 2 rooster tail lead on Jimmy King.
Yeah, Dave Billwalk really settled his boat down in the last 2 laps, the last 2 trips around the Bunch Finnegan turn 1 into Tire Factory turn number 2 at the bottom end of the course, and he's able to pull away from Jimmy King with over a rooster tail lead now for second place. The race leader is coming off the Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 exit pin on the Payne West Insurance front stretch, and the checkered flag is out. One more time for Jimmy Shane in the U1 home street, and a 3A victory for Jimmy Shane. Dave Billwalk onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch, and Jimmy King jumped back inside of him and had an opportunity to gain some ground, but Billwalk's going to hold on to second. Third place will go to the 3, Griggs Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. Dustin Eccles still coming up the Griggs backstretch, and he'll dive into the Shell Sun Market, turn number 3, and come around for 4th place points in the 440 Bucket List Racing. So Jimmy Shane will get the victory as the boats head back to the Neil F. Lamson pits. And the excitement, Kevin Rounce, was all at that milling period, and it was quite a lot of fun to see who was going to end up where.
We joked about the repeat from yesterday's final heat, and we saw a near repeat of the move that Dave Billwalk used yesterday to get into that lane 1, and it looked initially like he might be able to hang out there, but Jimmy Shane's boat is really fast.
You know, and we saw this in some of the racing here and also at the Richland Regatta. Sometimes that outside lane, 2 or 3, gives you a little bit smoother conditions at the beginning of the race, and you have a little bit more boat speed, carry a little bit more momentum through the turns, and that's what we saw with Jimmy Shane. And obviously he's got a really fast boat.
And it handles well.
Really well.
He's talked about it all weekend. I mean, he's had a perfect weekend, so he's had nothing really to complain about, but it handles beautifully in the turns, and and Dave Billwalk struggled that turn 2, that Tire Factory turn 2 right here at the beginning, and once that kind of got settled out, and he could just sort of set on sail, he was much better that second, third lap, but I don't know what happened in that first. He might have a thought or two about that.
I'm sure he'll share it. Special thanks to Farmers Exchange, our title sponsor on News Radio 610 KONA, 98 years in historic downtown Kennewick, and mowerhome.com. They have complete commercial and residential power equipment sales and...
Looks like you're getting a $3,200 refund.
Did she mention that at H&R Block, everyone gets their max refund or their money back?
And we
polo shirt, and we're outside in the open air, and it's completely different. Can you even imagine putting on a driver's suit right now, Brad?
Oh, it would be brutal. Absolutely brutal. I wouldn't want to be just wearing what I'm wearing and standing out in the hot sun for an extended period of time, although I guess that's what Glenn and I have been doing. But, yeah, it's hot now. Gee, I'm looking at umbrellas up here on top as I make my way up to the top of the tower. 6 minutes, 15 seconds, guys. 6:15 to the start. So just a little over a minute away from having boats on the water for Heat 3B at the Hapo Columbia Cup.
Heat 3A went to Miss Home Street with Jimmy Shane. Second place for the 3, Miss Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. Beacon Plumbing had the DQ, disqualification. Lost all points because of going below 80 miles per hour for greater than 5 seconds in the milling period. So no points for Dave Billwalk in Heat 3A and the 440 bucket list.
Hey, Michael,
Justin Eccles takes third. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was just going to have a follow-up on, we were talking about how hot it must be in the cockpit. Go put your car in the sun.
Oh, it is.
And
it's terrible.
Go climb in it right now. For what? These guys are going to be out through the 5-minute period, then another 5 minutes. Just go sit in it for 10 minutes, see if it gets a little warm, and then do it with a big black driver suit on. That'd be miserable.
No, it would not be.
No.
Not be good at all. And we're hearing some noise. Getting ready for Heat 3B. About 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2. They starting to move away, guys?
Should be. Noses are out. The 8, the 9, the 12, the 11. In that order from west to east. And oh, 3 of them are coming together. Good photo op. A couple of oh, this is a beauty.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible. They're all coming out at pretty much the same time.
And then here goes Jamie Nielsen. He'll jump out in front of the pack in the 11. He wants to be over there. First going to bring JMK with him. Then it's Corey. And Andrew Tate will bring up the rear, but not for long.
Yeah, I was going to say, Corey Peabody kind of went over and jumped right in front of the 12. And now we've got 2 boats going up the Griggs backstretch. Andrew Tate.
Backstretch with some authority.
Yeah, Andrew Tate is taking his time. He is going way out wide in that Graham trucking.
So up into Shell Sun Market, turn number 3. On the inside is the Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly. On the outside, the J&Ds, the brightest boat in the fleet with Jamie Nielsen, the 11. And they'll come into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 and onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Now entering Shell Sun Market turn number 3, top end of the course, is the 9 Pinnacle Peak Consulting with Corey Peabody. And cutting through the Esco Electric infield is Andrew Tate in the Graham trucking to the front stretch.
3:30 to the start.
How does this disqualification of Dave Billwalk affect these drivers and how they're paying attention to their speed during the milling period, Brad?
Well, they know that they've got to be very careful is what it means. They know that they're checking the black boxes, and the third component, it's not just N2s, it's not just fuel flow, it is speed. And so they know you make a mistake, it's going to get caught, and it's not worth it. It's not giving up a second, third, even a 4th place finish. Here comes Corey. Corey's going to go across the other side, jump in front of JMK.
So Corey Peabody through the Esco Electric infield to the Griggs backstretch.
They had all the 8 and the 11 had backed way off down the front stretch, and so Corey Peabody was like, I can get in front of you guys.
Coming up on about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to the start of Heat 3B.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
Another question for you. So Andrew Tate, not the first driver today we've seen take these incredibly wide turns to get into the track and not doing it really at a very brisk pace. When do you need to start being above 80 miles per hour?
Once you enter the race course, once you basically go across those white outside course markers, after you leave the pit area, you've got to maintain 80 miles an hour.
Up to the top end of the course. All the boats have assembled there. And at the exit pit first, Corey Peabody in the 9 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch, followed by his teammate, J. Michael Kelly in the 8, followed by the 11, Jamie Nielsen, and then Andrew Tate in the Graham trucking. Down at the exit pit of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4.
Will any of them jump or cross over?
Keep an eye on Corey because he's going. He didn't want to do it. He was going to get down here too early, and he's now going to jump over to the backstretch. Watch him go up to the top end of the course, cut one more time.
He jumped inside the GP course, though. Can you jump inside the GP course?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, as long as he cleared the first buoy after the start-finish line.
All right.
Wide open right there. Now he's going to come back, and he'll take another short turn and jump through the ESCO Electric infield and come back around to the front stretch.
It's possible he may go again, but right now, like we were talking about, who is going to get lane 1? JMK sitting in it right now, right in front of you, Kevin.
And he doesn't look like, and he's going to beat Corey Peabody. So Corey Peabody tries to jump it again.
Peabody jumps through.
He's going to try. It's going to be a race to the spot, though, between two teammates. And Peabody's going to get there first.
Yeah, but let's watch his position on the course as we get ready for the start and watch his speed.
And right now, the loser in all this, 12, which is currently sitting at lane 4.
He's going to be on the outside, but he might be in the best position from a boat speed position, coming about 30, 35 seconds.
Peabody in 1, Kelly in 2, Nielsen in 3, Tate in 4 as they come up to the top end of the course. Countdown is on for Heat 3B. 25 seconds. Watch the speed.
Here comes Andrew.
Yeah, he's going to have a boatload of speed on
15.
the outside, isn't he? Exit pin, turn number 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Peabody.
When you shop in the Safeway app, you can count on us to be ready for pickup on time.
He's in lane number 1. J. Michael Kelly in 2, Jamie Nielsen in 3, Tate in lane 4. It is a clean start, at least from our vantage point. Boat speed is on the outside with Tate, but watch J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2.
Wow, what a good-looking start coming down the front straightaway. We had 4 wide, but JMK with a whole lot of speed from lane 2. Got to get down here first, Kevin.
He's bouncing off the water off some rollers right now, and he's got the lead by about almost a rooster tail. Andrew Tate, though, battling Corey Peabody for second as they go down the Griggs backstretch.
It is a clean start. We have the official word. It is a clean start. J. Michael Kelly with the race lead, heading up the Griggs backstretch with a half a rooster tail lead right now. And it looks like he'll get into turn number 3 at the entrance pin now. Watch Peabody in the inside lane. He'll have the shorter course around. Wall of water off the skid pin as they get to the apex. Coming out of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. It's going to be J. Michael Kelly with the lead, Peabody in second, Tate in third. The race now becomes for that second place spot with Tate on the outside. Can he reel in Peabody? Yes, and Tate is going to pass in the Graham Trucking coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, but he's riding out in about lane number 4, maybe 5. Kelly's going to get down here first by a rooster tail, but it is Peabody down here first, but only by a boat length on Tate. Tate's on the outside.
And they're hitting some rough waters. Corey Peabody handles it well. Tate goes way wide. So Corey Peabody off the corner first. He's got about a half a rooster tail lead on Andrew Tate.
Yeah, and he actually made a little ground on J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities number 8 on that turn. It was a spectacular turn. Now you can see Tate on the outside. He's trying to catch back up with Peabody, but that's going to be a tough one, especially way outside in lane number 4. They get to the top end of the course. Can Peabody catch J. Michael Kelly? He's going to give it a good run on the top end of the course. As they get to the exit pin, they're nearly deck to deck. Now it's going to be about a 4 boat length lead right now for J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities. Coming down the front stretch, J. Michael Kelly with the lead. A half a rooster tail back is Peabody, and a full rooster tail back is Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking. The white flag is out. Jamie Nielsen in 4th place across start finish now.
And Nielsen backed out. I think he got out of the tunnel. But Corey Peabody putting it on here at the inside. Gets to the back quarter panel of JMK, but he's able to get the gas on it as the 8. And he's got about a half a rooster tail lead down the backstretch.
This could be a really tight Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn 3 and Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 for Peabody, who's trying to gain on his strong racing teammate, J. Michael Kelly. Kelly on the outside, Peabody on the inside. A rooster tail back is Andrew Tate way on the outside. Now watch the turn. Can Peabody catch his teammate by the exit pin? It doesn't look like it. It was a really smooth run for J. Michael Kelly on the outside in the Miss Tri-Cities. Coming down the Payne West Insurance front stretch to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line, and a checkered flag for the 8 Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly. 2nd place for Pinnacle Peak Consulting, Corey Peabody in the 9. Andrew Tate will take 3rd in the Graham Trucking, and Jamie Nielsen in the J&D's Hydraulics will take 4th place in Heat 3B. That was a good run, and there was an opportunity for Peabody to grab his teammate and maybe pass him on the inside lane, Kevin, but that was just too much horsepower on the outside, too much power on the outside for the Miss Tri-Cities did not relinquish the lead.
And JMK, of course, knows very much how to win here. He's done it before, and while he's in a new boat, he certainly has the wherewithal on how to do it. But that 8 boat looking really, really good as we head into heats 4A, B, and the final.
And maybe one of the most entertaining milling periods that we've had.
Yeah, Corey P. Well, and we were looking at who would get lane number 1. It ended up being Corey Peabody, and I think that helped him a great deal. He was able to stay really kind of just in the rooster tail of the 8, not really lose too much ground, but JMK is very fast. And I think what we saw, too, is that Andrew Tate is not as good on the outside. He's going to have to be in that lane 1 or 2 if he wants to be competing in the final.
Yeah, well, we had seen that earlier, and I think you're right. That inside lane, depending on who is on the outside of you, that's going to be key. But J. Michael Kelly definitely has the ability as a driver and has the boat speed to get it done, even in lane number 2, it appears. So.
Until the start of the 2021 Hapo Columbia Cup in 2 seconds, 1 mark, 6 minutes. And as I was climbing up the tower, I was thinking, wow, just a couple of months ago, this race was not happening. And look up and down the shore, look out across the river. It happened. We're here. We've had a great weekend, had our issues along the way, but we're ready to go racing here, and it's going to be a barn burner of a final.
Yeah, for the board of directors and everybody involved with Water Follies, Kathy Powell, event director, and the staff, way to go. Thanks for having us back.
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael.
Glenn.
If I could give a quick shout out to Kennewick Fire over here. They were called out to at the concessions area about 10 minutes ago.
Really?
Well, somebody passed out. I think, the heat, the lack of water. There's been a lot of great boat racing Saturday and Sunday, so you don't really have an opportunity to step away very often. So I hate to be Debbie Downer, but remember, let's push those fluids, grab a Powerade, grab a Gatorade, drink some water to make sure you get through the day safely.
And just so there's no question about it, it was not me.
No, it was not.
It was not me.
That's a good sign. All right, here we go. We're ready to go racing.
I don't know, do I dare say it? Because everybody knows this is my favorite shot right here. And it's not disappointing coming away from the dock here. Wow. The 3 is already gone. Then it's Kelly coming out. Following behind him is Corey Peabody. Then it's Jamie Nielsen. Then it's Jimmy Shane. Then it is Dave Villwalk. You'll never guess who's still sitting at the dock, Michael.
Oh, it'd be Jimmy Shane?
That would be Andrew Tate. He loves to do that.
Sorry.
That's right. He loves to do it. He's the only one sitting there. Hasn't even tried to come out yet. Same thing he used to do when he was driving for Mike and Lori Jones and driving the 9.
This is the first time we've seen 6 boats out on the course, and there's still one more to come.
And he's just sitting at the dock.
Just waiting.
I think he's the guy I'm behind every green light when I'm trying to get home from work.
Well, it was interesting when we were here for the test session. Andrew and I kind of walked up the beach together here, and he was looking over the edge, and he goes, it looks pretty deep out there. He says, maybe I can make that run that I like to do up the shoreline. He's coming away from the dock now. We'll see if he makes a left turn and comes up the dock, or if he just goes straight across, and it's looking more and more like he's just going to come straight across to Kevin. 3 minutes and 40 seconds till our start. All 7 boats are up and on the water, guys.
Jimmy King has cut through the ESCO electric infield. So has Jamie Nielsen as they come to the Payne West Insurance front stretch.
Michael, you asked about the fans. They may be hot, but they've all left the shade to get to the best possible view as Jimmy King cuts again. But they're all up ready to go watch the next 5-lap race as we get ready to wrap up the Columbia Cup.
And again, all swimmers up out of the water onto the shore. Our hydroplanes out on the river for the Hapo Columbia Cup. All swimmers out of the water up on the shore.
Kevin, look at this approach for Andrew Tate. He went straight across, parallel with the bridge, all the way to the other side. He's still not on the race course.
He's still not technically on the race course. The problem is where does he fit into all of this? Because Jamie Nielsen and now J. Michael Kelly have gotten in front of him. Here Corey Peabody, but yeah, all 7 boats are on the race course. Dave Villwalk in front of Jimmy Shane too. He'll have to eventually back off and get into that trailer position, but
2:30 to our start.
All right, now we start to pay attention where boats are right now. Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware will come across the JMC Motorsports start-finish line down the Payne West Insurance front stretch.
And we talked about how pristine the water was down here in Tire Factory Turn 2. That's not the case anymore.
Not anymore.
Dave Villwalk will cut across the ESCO electric infield to the front stretch.
King will cut the back, front to back.
Coming up on 2 minutes, guys, in 2-1 mark. 2 minutes.
Jimmy Nielsen is in lane number 1 as he comes down the front stretch to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line.
Villwalk cuts again, getting into the trailer boat position. We might be starting to settle down here.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly would be in lane 2. Andrew Tate is searching for a lane in the Graham Trucking right now, maybe in 3. That would put Peabody in 4. Then behind is Jimmy Shane in the 1.
19-year-old girl was kidnapped. She's my family.
Just get my back if I ever need it.
All of this is for a girl.
And I don't know where he will go. Dave Villwalk. The front stretch. And
look who got one.
And look what they did. What did we talk about? Get Jimmy Shane on the pace now where he's going to have a whole lot of boat speed.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Watch Jimmy Shane. Kevin, you're going to have the call because he's got 4 boats in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like Peabody's going to give Tate lane 3. So here comes Jimmy Shane. Jimmy King.
1 minute.
Behind. Boy, rough water for Jimmy Shane. That could be the difference, though.
But where's he going to go?
He's got to go outside. There's nowhere for him to go.
He better be careful with the 3 coming up behind him. The 3 can basically pin him.
And the 3 is going to get that lane 6.
Right now you got Nielsen in 1, J. Mike in 2. Not quite sure where the 12 with Tate is going to end up. And outside.
Is it going to be either inside or outside of Peabody?
Yeah, no, if Peabody's going to give him the room or not. And then you've got Shane all the way inside now as they come around the top end of the course. Nielsen in 1, starting to pick them up as they come to the exit pin.
10 seconds.
J. Michael in 2. Peabody looks like he's in lane number 3. Then you've got Tate in lane 4. Shane in 5. Jimmy King in lane 6. And the trailer boat Billwalk. It was a really close start. And looking on the inside, the boat speed. Jamie Nielsen with a great run down the Payne West Insurance front stretch. It's a good start.
It is a good start. It's going to be J. Michael Kelly. He's going to get down here. First got Peabody with him, and then Tate right there, too. Shane is back about 7 boat lengths, Kevin.
He is really, really battling it down here, all 3 boats, but it is J. Michael Kelly in the lead as they head down the creek's backstretch, but 4 boats, you can throw a blanket over them.
Huge spurt and a nice job for J. Michael Kelly and the Miss Tri-Cities on the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch to pull out in front as the drivers head up into Shell Sun Market turn number 3. The race leader is Miss Tri-Cities, the 8. Jamie Nielsen on the inside, though, as they come around the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. It's a good run for Nielsen on the inside, and looking on the outside, Peabody may be challenging his teammate. And it's really hard to see Nielsen all the way on the inside. Oh, Nielsen's falling back a little ways. Boat speed is going to be on the outside with Tate, but it's going to be J. Mike leading into turn number 1, Bunch Finnegan.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly's got about 3/4 of a Rooster Tail lead on teammate Corey Peabody. Then it is Tate. Shane is back in 5th place, and he's giving ground.
Jamie Nielsen into the wash of the 8 boat. Has the swag way off. So now Tate's going to get by him for 3rd place. It's a 5-lap race, though. We're only on lap 2, but right now it's J. Mike.
J. Michael Kelly up the backstretch with the lead. His teammate Corey Peabody in 2nd place. About a half a Rooster Tail back. Then the Rooster Tail behind him is Tate in the Graham Trucking. Another Rooster Tail back behind Jamie Nielsen and Jimmy Shane. Shane on the outside has not challenged. Will he have something to challenge as we move through the final lap of the Hapo Columbia Cup? The race leader, J. Michael Kelly, to the start-finish line with Corey Peabody, a half a Rooster Tail back. Can Peabody reel him in? He's going to try down the front stretch. Can he catch him before Bunch Finnegan turn number 1? He's going to try.
Man, they are rocking and rolling down here, and I'm telling you, the wing
watch
and the
Jimmy
fairings
Shane on the outside.
The wing and the fairings are folded up on the 8, so there's going to be trouble with Kelly's boat ride. Keep an eye on Peabody.
Yeah, he's got one of the fairings that's gone off the boat, but Corey Peabody with a great turn. He's now half a Rooster Tail behind, and the 12, Andrew Tate, loses power. He is in the water right here in front of me. Jimmy Shane battling Jamie Nielsen for 3rd. Dave Billwalk has taken 6th place, will now be in 5th place. In the boat, the U-40.
Yeah, the race goes up to the Shell Sun Market turn number 3. And the inside boat, J. Michael Kelly, the Miss Tri-Cities in the lead. How close does he hold it to the buoy line? Really close. That was a wonderful turn in Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Jimmy Shane now will be able to take away 3rd place coming through rough water at the exit bend of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, trying to get around Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen on the inside, Shane on the outside for 3rd place. 1st place, it's still J. Michael Kelly into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
Got half a Rooster Tail. They got to be careful with that wing sitting down here in lane number 2. But right now it is strong racing running 1-2.
Yeah, he bounced it off the water in Tire Factory turn 2. He can't quite get the speed at Corey Peabody. Flying behind him down the backstretch.
Peabody with a great run and boat speed. Did a great job on that turn. And Peabody with the lead by 2 boat lengths. Jimmy Shane has taken over 3rd place. Jamie Nielsen in 4th. Heading up the back stretch. On the inside, J. Michael Kelly will try to pull even with his teammate Corey Peabody. Peabody looked like he went out wide, and he hit some really rough water. The white flag is out for the Hapo Columbia Cup 2021. Race leader remains Corey Peabody. Can he hold off his teammate? He's pulling away down the front stretch from J. Michael Michael Kelly. Jimmy Shane in third, Jamie Nielsen in fourth.
Jimmy King is going off course.
Coming down to the lower part of the race course here. The white flag is hung. This is it. It is Corey Peabody with a rooster tail now on his teammate as he flies them out. Got to get through the rough water. Kevin, bring him around.
Yeah, Corey Peabody does it beautifully, though. Poor J. Michael Kelly. Boy, now the wing is gone, that boat. Now the fairing goes down, so he's riding without either fairing or the wing. So he's just going to try to nurse this home. But Jimmy Shane...
Can Shane catch him?
Shane, I think he's got a lot more boat speed, but not a lot of time left.
Coming up the backstretch, Corey Peabody, the race leader. Strong racing. Could have a 1-2 finish. Can Jimmy Shane? I don't think Jimmy Shane can challenge the damaged boat of J. Michael Kelly for that second place. Off of the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak Consulting to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line and a checkered flag for strong racing. Second place finish. Can J. Michael Kelly hold off Jimmy Shane? Yes. Miss Tri-Cities will finish second, and Jimmy Shane in the home street a third place finish. The battle for fourth out on the course. Jamie Nielsen onto the front stretch, and he will come to start-finish and take fourth place. What a run for the strong racing team. And J. Michael Kelly had the lead, but gave it up. Damage to the boat may have cost him an opportunity to get the victory. And it's Corey Peabody who performed so well right out of the box down at Guntersville, Alabama, in the first race of the season with top qualifier and a heat win. And now he gets the championship here.
Hey guys, maybe Michael, you just addressed this and I wasn't paying attention to my ear, but is that the first win for Corey this weekend?
Yes.
Wow. Not bad.
So it did not finish for the 12 and the 3. Tate and Jimmy King, unfortunately, did not finish.
Guys, where, and I just hopped in a golf cart. I'm on my way down.
Bill Walk finishes in 5th.
Where is Andrew Tate?
He is about 400 yards, about a 7-iron away from where I'm at right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's on the Pasco side, just outside of the Tire Factory Turn 2.
I am looking for Darrell Strong as I find my way down here.
It's got to be one happy team.
Right there.
Pinnacle Peak Consulting, the 9, gets the victory. We'll start to see some speeds put up there, but it really wasn't the speed so much as it was the competitive racing. Corey Peabody's pretty darn excited, isn't he?
Yeah, I just got here. He's up on the top of the air scoop. He is one happy dude, as you might imagine. Darrell Strong, wherever he might be. This is Guntersville all over again, with the exception, this time it's Corey's on top. Corey won the first heat in Guntersville. He won the one you want to win here in the Tri-City. Win that last one. This is going to be something special down here. The boat just kept getting better and better and better all weekend. It's just really, he is going to be so excited. As well he should be. As well he should be. Man, oh man.
Well, and the only thing I think the officials would have to possibly look at is down here in turn 2 is maybe the 8. Maybe.
Well, he just went in the river.
Time to cool off a little, huh?
Well, and there may be some. Now we got 3 of them. If I was wearing a Strong shirt, I'm not sure I'd stand too close to things around here. Oh my goodness. If ever there is a statement for the thrill of victory, this is it. This is it. Corey Peabody, he is all smiles. He's going to get some help coming up on the dock. He jumps. I tell you, he's going to be a whole lot cooler. That's for darn sure.
No doubt.
And we're getting the rest of the crowd up here. Oh, boy. This is really something special.
A wider smile brightens more than just your teeth. Colgate Optic White's unique hydrogen peroxide technology is engineered to remove deeper stains for a visible difference in just 3 days. So you can live life to the brightest.
Yay! Starting a new job or leaving an old one? When life changes, your taxes do too. With 70 years of experience,